This course is presented to you free of charge by TTJ Tech Services of www.ttjtech.biz and by Stir It Up of www.stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U, not an I, so that's STURITUP.com. TTJ Tech Services and Stir It Up are pleased to offer this course to you to the glory of God and to the benefit of all those who listen. Bonanza today for this session number 11 of iPad for All Computing. And here's the way App Bonanza works. We are not going to be able to teach each of these apps in depth. We're going to show you some key things that you might want to do with a particular app. And we are going to encourage you to explore these apps because they're all very accessible if you're a VoiceOver user. And if you're not, of course, they also work quite well. And you can really benefit from the apps that we're going to talk about. On today's list, it's Apple Maps, music, TV, and podcasts. With Apple Maps, you can easily get beautiful views of your current location and the surrounding areas. You can get hybrid views, satellite views, 3D in some cases. You can do flyover with many cities around the world. And you can even put a pin in various locations to keep track of where you've been, where you're going, where you want to go, these types of things. And we're not going to spend much time on that. A lot of that is visual, but it's also accessible with VoiceOver. So what I would encourage you to do is to use the iPad user guide in combination with just experience and playing around in the Apple Maps app. Experiment with it and see what you can do, the kinds of things. It's a really, really powerful app, and it is really awesome. The area that I want to demonstrate today is getting a business place card and getting turn-by-turn directions. So a business place card is basically a card of the map that overlays the rest of the map showing details about a particular business. Maybe you want to find out about a specific restaurant or a hotel or some other business near you. Find out their hours, their website, their address, and so on. And so that is a place card. Again, that place card overlays the rest of the map, meaning that if you can see it, you can still see the map underneath it, or even with VoiceOver, you can touch the map. And this can get a bit confusing if you don't know to expect that. But
PM and maps.
Excuse me.
Tap to open.
But you can also adjust the size of the card that is overlaying the map, so you can take it full screen if you prefer to. And then, of course, turn-by-turn directions. I think that's obvious. We're not going to actually be using them because we're not going to be traveling anywhere, but I'm going to show you where to find them. And I want to talk very briefly about turn-by-turn directions on the iPad. It is very likely that many of you are thinking, well, why would I use my iPad for that when I have my iPhone? And that is absolutely true. Most times where I'm really using turn-by-turn directions, it's on the iPhone, maybe with Apple CarPlay if we connect to the car, or either way, using the iPhone as the primary navigation device. But it is nice to know that you have the option of using your iPad if you so choose. And I like the iPad a lot. I often have it with me, more often than not, so it's certainly a possibility that I could use it, and you may prefer to. Now, here's the little public service announcement that I need to make about this. If you have a Wi-Fi only iPad, you will not be able to get turn-by-turn directions in Maps on that iPad. Once again, if you have a Wi-Fi only iPad, then you will not be able to get turn-by-turn directions on that iPad. And the reason for that is because the iPad Wi-Fi model lacks the GPS chip that is necessary to give it that capability. You must have a Wi-Fi plus cellular iPad if you intend to get turn-by-turn directions using your iPad. Now, you can have a cellular iPad, Wi-Fi plus cellular, without an active cellular plan, and you'll be able to get turn-by-turn directions while you're on Wi-Fi, but you can't do that with a Wi-Fi only model. We did mention that during the initial discussion of the different iPad models way back in February. Seems so long ago now, right? But I did want to bring that up again. So if it's not working for you, there's probably a good reason why. All right, I'm going to launch the Maps app.
Maps, edit daily format.
Now,
Maps. Maps. Map. The Everett Flowers. Sheets.
Again,
Swipe up or down.
I can just explore by swiping and by touch. There's a lot here to explore. We're not going to take much time, but I can four-finger single tap near the top.
Card controller. Full screen. Button. Double tap to collapse the sheet. Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
And those custom actions.
Expand. Collapse. Activate. Card
So
controller.
remember, I just
Full
told you
screen. Button.
about
Double tap.
I just told you about card overlays a few minutes ago, that they overlay the rest of the map. And so this is a card controller right here for what must be displayed on the map at the moment.
Map modes. Button.
Near the top there, we can choose our map modes, and I will show you.
Map. Places visit. Choose map. Heading. Close. Button. Selected. Explore. Transit. Driving. Satellite. Copyright OpenStreetMap and other data providers. Copyright
Okay.
satellite. Selected. Close.
Just going to close that. But you see there's Explore, there's the transit view, the street driving, satellite view.
Close.
Okay.
Card control. Map mode. Tracking. On. Button.
That's it.
Change tracking options.
All right. So if you have your... It's possible to move the map to a place beyond where you're actually going. And sometimes my kids used to like to do that just so that they could see other places around. And so, we'd be in our area of Pennsylvania, and next thing I know, the map would be showing Chicago or something. And that's fine because, again, it's possible to do that. But if you ever want to quickly get it back to being right where you are, you just turn the tracking on. It already is on in my case. We heard that.
Tracking. On. Button.
But you can
Change tracking options.
You can do that. All right.
Cloudy. 51 degrees. Air quality. 29. Good. Button. Search maps. Search field. Double tap to edit.
And there's our search field. Now, if we go past this, again, we can explore the map.
Dictate. Profile. Button.
Our profile lets us edit information about ourselves and our places of interest. We have offline maps that we download because you can download offline maps in case you don't have a cellular connection during your drive.
Locations. Favorites. Heading.
Our favorites.
More. Button. Home. Work. Mom and Dad's house. 88 miles. But add. Button.
You can add more favorites. And again, I told you I wasn't going to go in depth about this because we don't have time. So I would really encourage you to explore this on your own. But I'm going to swipe back to the left to that search field.
Dictate. Search maps. Search field. Search field is editing. Search maps. Insertion point at start.
And now that I'm inside the search field, if
To access misspelled word.
I swipe to the right, you're going to see some different things now.
Dictate. Cancel. Search suggestions. Search for people.
We have search suggestions.
Search by name for people and contacts. And find my and get directions to their locations.
Very interesting, isn't it?
Close. Dimmed. Button.
And that's a little tip.
Recents. Heading.
Here's some recent places.
More. Button. Belterra Vineyards. Bet. Grey Dragon Chinese Restaurant. Goodwill Harrisburg Pa. Find nearby. Heading.
Now we have a section called Find Nearby.
Restaurants. Button. Gas stations. Hotels. Parking. Rest areas. Explore guides. Where do you want to explore? Button.
And then we have these guides. Now the guides...
Browse by publisher. Heading. 365 things Austin. 2 guides. Button. 5,200. Academy Museum. All trails. 14 guides. Apple Music. 59 guides. Atlas Obscura. Blog TO.
Let's see where my guides are.
Bloomberg. Boston.com. Bumble.
It may take longer than what I want to spend on it right now, so I won't worry about that. But basically what a guide is, it's a collection of recommended places around a particular theme, or you heard some of these like Apple Music, and some of these are curated guides by the editors. You can also make your own guides, and I've made a few. For example, when we went to Florida for Disney World, I made a Disney World guide. I have a guide of favorite restaurants in our area that I add to anytime there's a restaurant that I like, and I keep that in there. And not only, anything in our area, we are used to going there. We probably aren't using turn-by-turn directions to get there. But it's nice to keep this collection of restaurants, and it's also possible to share these guides with other people. So if somebody comes to the area, or even if they live in the area, and they say, hey, where do you like to eat? I can just share that guide with them, and it's got all those favorite restaurants. And not only restaurants, but I have one with recreation, like our movie theater and our bowling alley, for example, and important places like the dentist and things of that nature. I created one for Pittsburgh when we took a trip there a few years ago. So you can create these guides for yourself. Again, I'm not going to get into the details of how to do that for the sake of time, but the guides are shareable, and they provide a bunch for you. As you saw, those are Apple curated guides, but you also saw the nearby. When we haven't typed anything in the search field, you can look for things like restaurants, hotels, gas stations, shopping, and this is going to give you whatever's near you in those categories. So even without typing anything in the search field, you can do that. Now, what I'm also going to do is swipe back to the left here.
300 explore Wonka. This year's best new hotel designs. Wonka approved candy shops in the USA. Places.travel. Guides we love. Rest areas. Group. Coffee. Gas. Fast restaurant. Fine. Goodwill hair. Grey Drop. Belterra Vineyards. Bedford.
Now, that's actually...
Actions available.
There we go. Our actions on that, by the way, this is under Recents.
More. Button. Recents. Heading.
And it's got a more button if you don't see all of them, because I think it's only got 3 there. But if you use the actions rotor,
Belterra Vineyards. Delete. Activate.
you can delete it or activate it. And I assume a long press or a little icon next to it would work as well. Now, rather than typing in the search field, again, just for the sake of time, I'm going to use this. This Belterra is a restaurant near us. It's called Belterra Vineyards because they apparently also do winery and stuff, but I don't know. But it's also a restaurant. And I've never used it in a class demonstration because it's a fairly new place, so we're going to see what kind of information it shows. I can't speak to how thorough the place card is on it, but we're going to find out together. If I really wanted to, instead, I could have kept swiping back to the left and I could have typed something in the search field. And things you can type, right? You could type an address, 123 Cherry Street, Chicago, whatever, and it's going to actually give you that location on the map. Again, you can get your turn by turn and everything. The second type of thing you could type is the name of a business. In this case, for example, you saw Belterra Vineyards. That's the name of the restaurant. I could type Applebee's, Pizza Hut, whatever it is that I'm looking for, I could type the name of that, Hilton Hotel, whatever, and then a shopping, whatever, anything, any kind of a business, right? You can type the name of it. And the third option is to type like a category of business, right? So we could say Italian restaurant, or we could say electronics store. We could say shopping mall. You could use whatever, use your imagination, right? And you could type some sort of category, and if you don't specify a town or city name, it's going to search near you automatically. So that's important to know too. You don't have to put your local location. You can if you want to be doubly sure, but again, if you don't put any location, it's going to search near you. Now, another way to do this, of course, is to use our friend SIRI, and I will demonstrate that. I can't show you that on this iPad because we're in the meeting, but I'll use another device that I happen to have here, just so you know. And I think I demonstrated this at the beginning of the course when I just was demonstrating Siri in general, but let's just do something here. I'm looking for a pizza place near me.
One option is Best Way Pizza on East South Hopewell Street in Everett. A little over a mile to your east, and it gets 4 stars on Yelp. Is that the one you're looking for?
No.
The second is Mile Level Pizza and Sub Shop on Lincoln Highway in Bedford, about 4 miles to your west, and it gets 4.5 stars on Yelp. Is that the one you want?
Sure.
Perfect. I can call or get directions. Just tell me what you'd like to do.
Get directions.
Getting directions to Mile Level Pizza and Sub Shop.
Maps. Favorites. Routes. 9 minutes. 5.8 miles.
Starting route to Mile
My
Level Pizza
location.
and Sub Shop.
Map. No
Head
features
northeast
visible.
on Locust Drive. Then turn right onto
Now,
Case.
you heard the first direction, and I'm going to go ahead and end the navigation, but the reason I went ahead with that on my phone is because I'm not going to be able to do that on the iPad while we're in class here, so I figured I'd go ahead and show you that part of it. What I wanted you to notice was when she gave me the places.
My location.
She said I could call or I could get directions. And so I had the choice of doing either one. And if I didn't want to do either, but I rather wanted to just look at their, business hours and stuff like that, I could have tapped on the screen and I could have done that as well. I can also ask Siri other questions, like, for example, and this time instead of a restaurant, we'll use a different kind of business, but let me just show you this.
Swipe down.
How late is Ace Hardware open near me?
Ace Fix-It Hardware on E Main Street in Everett is open today from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I can ask appropriate questions. You say, well, how would I get her to read me the business hours? Well, that's a perfect example of how. All right, so I showed you that on my phone because we're on the iPad, but now let me go back to the iPad and actually show you a place card here. Again, we're going to be using this Bellaterra Vineyards.
Gray Dragon, Bellaterra Vineyards, Bedford. Share button.
The first thing you land on is a share icon, and we'll come across that.
Good to know.
Okay,
Heading.
I want to do a 4-finger tap near the top because
Card controller, full screen, button. Card controller, full screen.
there's 2 card controllers now.
Map modes, tracking, cloudy, Bellaterra Vineyards, heading, 14 minutes, driving, button.
There's your button that gives you the turn-by-turn directions. It doesn't say get directions, but it says 14 minutes driving, and if we double tap on that, you're going to see other options, and I will come back to that in a moment or two. Let's keep swiping to the right, though, because I want to show you more about a place card.
Call, button.
There's a call button. We can actually give them a call, and of course, this will use your iPhone cellular connection. You can do this from any device, right? HomePod, and by the way, you can ask your HomePod for directions, and it'll kind of send them to your iPhone for CarPlay. You can do that on your Mac. But
Website, button.
so they've got a website, so we could easily visit in Safari right there.
Reserve, button.
It's got a reserve button. Not every restaurant's going to do that, but if you have your settings set properly, and we do have a day on settings, by the way, coming up later on in this course. And if you have your settings configured properly, you will be able to use things like OpenTable, Uber Eats, sometimes DoorDash, maybe, I don't remember, but OpenTable and Yelp for making reservations and so on. This is kind of more of that sort of a sit-down place, so you'd be able to tap on reserve here, it looks like, to reserve a table. I didn't even know that. I told you I've not really used this place card. I think the reason I pulled it up before was just to get their hours and give them a call. We wanted to ask them a question about their kids menu for my daughter, but we really, haven't used the place card that much. So I didn't know that you could actually do a reservation right here in Maps. I like when I see that.
More, button. Hours, open. 4 ratings, 100%. Distance, 8.2 miles. Rate this place. Heading, overall, not rated. Drink, not rated. Customer service, not rated. Atmosphere, not. Add your photos. Button.
We can add our own ratings and our own photos. Now we're going to go through a series of photos here.
Good to know. Heading.
No, actually not. We're going to go to the good to know section. Maybe they don't have photos, or maybe they're further down. We shall see.
Share, button.
There's your share button.
Good, share, button.
So we can easily share this place with other people.
Close, button.
There's the button to close the card when we're done with it. But we heard good to know is coming up, so we should be seeing some useful info coming up, right?
Accept reservations.
Okay, that's good to know.
Contactless payments.
Good to know. Must take Apple Pay.
Accepts Apple Pay.
Yep, there it is.
Details, button. Heading.
Now we have a details section.
Hours, 11 a.m., 5 p.m., open, collapsed. Activate to expand.
If you expand that, you'll see hours for other days.
Phone, +1.
There's the number.
7. Website, Bellaterra.
There's the website.
Address, 11. Report an issue, button.
There's the address, and then you can report an issue if there's something incorrect.
Add to favorites, button.
You can add this to your favorites.
Claim this place, button. My location, 415 Bellaterra Vineyards, map, Napa Auto Parts.
Okay.
Add to report, add web hours, detail, accepts app.
Let's go back.
Good to know, close, button. Search maps, dictate.
And I'd like to find one other option that maybe even has a better place card.
Cancel.
By better, I mean more information. So I could type something in search, or let's
Search suggestion.
Let's just
more.
see.
Gray Dragon, Goodwill Harris, more recents, heading.
what other,
more,
if I go to
button.
more,
Card
what other
control,
recents do I
map
have
of
here?
track, recents, cloudy, close.
There's the close button. Let's see what other recents.
Today, clear, belt, mile older, Clear. University of Grey Dragon. Paxton Square. Paxton. Goodwill Harris. The Wharf Bar. Union Square Shopping Center.
Oh.
Seafood Joint. 137 East Main.
Well-
Cambria County. Haas's Steak and Sea House. 4,300.
I would think they have a lot of information.
Haas's Steak and Sea House.
Haas's, it's a chain restaurant.
Share.
I would think they probably...
Add your photo. Atmosphere. Customer
Okay.
service. Not rate this.
That one says not rated either,
Like, rate this
but
distance.
it has a
12
like and a
miles,
dislike
7
button.
Hour more. Website. Call 17. Haas's
Yeah,
Steak.
they have the same kind of information here,
Overall,
but-
food and customers add in your guides. Heading.
this one's in a guide already.
Good to know. Add your photos
So-
in your guides. Heading.
If we wanted to, we could add this to other guides, but it's already in a guide.
Good to know. Heading. Close. Favorite restaurants. 11 places.
There's the guide that it's already in.
Takeout.
Okay, they have takeout,
Good for kids.
good for kids.
Outdoor parking. Lunch. Casual ambiance. Casual attire. Free Wi-Fi. Contactless payments. Accepts Apple Pay. More. Button. Details. Button.
Here's the
Heading.
details again.
Hours. Phone. Website. Address. Report and add to favorites. My location. Map.
Okay, and so you get the idea. These are pretty thorough. Some have more than others.
Casual
But-
outdoor. Good for takeout.
If I wanted to,
In your add your photo atmosphere dislike.
What I wanna show you.
Like, rate this distance 7 hours open more button website button more.
Let's see what more has.
Steakhouse
Whoops.
Taco Bell add to favorites report an issue
okay.
address.
See, if we keep
40
going, we're getting to other places then. Again, we have more on the map.
Favorite restaurants,
but-
close good in your add your customer.
I wanted to show you the
overall,
more
rate
button.
this, visited,
See if there's
like,
anything else.
Rate this distance 12 miles. Rate this like.
You can like it or dislike it.
More.
Go back here. More.
More. Card controller. Map mode.
Now, what does that do?
Taco Bell. Add report address webs hour detail accepts accept free casual lunch outdoor.
Okay.
Good for kid takeout favorite
It would just-
restaurants.
it would-
Close. Good to know. Head in your guides. Heading.
So essentially, it would give you even more options.
Add your photos. Atmosphere. Not rated.
And
Actions available.
we don't have. Let's see.
Like. Dislike. Activate.
You have actions there.
Add your photos.
All right.
In your guide.
In your guides.
In your good to
And
know
again-
details. But hours. Phone. Website,
All that information is
hostile
there.
Address. 4,000
So-
report an issue. Button.
When we close this now,
Card.
well,
card,
actually,
card,
I'm not going to close it
Map mode. Tracking. Cloudy.
because
Haas's
I want to do one other
Steakhouse.
thing.
Haas's Steak. 17-minute call. 17 minutes. Driving. Button.
I want to show you what it looks like to get the directions now. If I double tap on that 17 minutes driving button,
17. Alert. Getting there safely. Map.
okay,
Be safe and pay attention to your surroundings. Always observe posted signs and local laws. Okay.
good to know. All right.
Card control.
So-
Card map tracking. Direct close button.
Look at this. Now we have a close button,
Directions.
but look here.
Close selected. Drive button. Walk button. Transit button. Cycle button. My location button.
So I have four options. I have four options there: driving, walking, transit, and cycling. And then you heard that driving was already selected. Now here's
My location button.
you're starting.
Activate to change stop.
Right.
Actions available.
That's my starting location, and it's just my current location. Now
Reorder button. Haas's Steak and Sea House.
there's the destination.
Button. Reorder. Add stop button.
And you can add a stop if we wanted to stop somewhere along the way. Maybe we have to pick somebody up, or maybe we need to stop for gasoline or something. You can add a stop, and then you can reorder these route segments too.
Now button.
When are we leaving? Right now. If that's not the case, I can change that.
Avoid button.
If we want to avoid tolls, highways, things of that nature.
17 minutes. 12 miles. Fastest route button.
And there is
Activate to show trip details.
a very important button. You heard it say activate to show trip details. Now, one swipe to the right
Go button.
is the go button. That's where we actually get the turn by turn. If I want to start voice guided navigating right now, I hit that go button. But if I want to plan ahead and I want to see a list, because a lot of people ask about that, how can I see a list of the directions? Well, all I have to do is to tap on this.
17 minutes. 12 miles. Fastest route button.
All right, so those are,
Activate to show trip details.
that's where we'd see the trip details, in other words, the steps. The go button is how we start. And then once we're navigating, we have a screen that really does show us all the details we could ever want. And I really like doing this
11 miles.
because,
Suggest avoid.
oh, notice,
18 minutes. 11 miles.
that's also based on real-time traffic conditions, by the way, so it may change. But when you hit go,
Go button.
you're going to have a screen that will show you, even with voiceover, it's very thorough. As you're driving, you can swipe on that screen. I don't recommend you swipe while you're driving, but if somebody else is driving, you can swipe on that screen and you can hear, for example, that the next turn is coming up in, 1.2 miles, and now it's 1 mile, and now it's, 800 feet. Now it's, 40 feet, whatever, right? You can keep swiping and hear that. They will have on that screen your ETA, when it is estimated that you are going to arrive. Again, I'm going to probably show you this from my iPhone because I do want to actually pull it up, and that way the voice guidance can talk. And then there's an expand button that you can hit to find the end route option. So let me close this.
Direct close. Map. Clear Ridge Road. Passes State. Denny. Bedford. Add to favorite. Address. Website. Phone. Hour. Accept. Free. Casual. Can't lock out. Good. Take out. Favorite. Close. Good. Close. Recents. Heading.
And I'll point out,
Close. Today. Heading. Clear. Older. Heading. Clear. University. Delete. Share. Activate. Default.
these places in my recents,
Gray Drap. Paxton.
like the Haas's,
Paxton. Goodwill Harris. The Wharf Bar and Grill.
or there's
6852 Derry Street.
there's another restaurant, the Wharf Bar and Grill. If I use my actions rotor,
Delete.
I can delete it, but
Share.
I can also share it.
Activate.
And
delete. Share.
that's another way to find the share icon.
Form.
If I
The
do
Wharf
that,
Bar and Grill. The Wharf Bar. Middle. Kylie, Alexa, Jessica.
here's
Vaughn,
my sharing suggestions.
Diane Hart.
That's a typical share sheet, right?
Kylie.
But I want to show you some of the specific options.
AirDrop. Messages. Mail. Notes. Reminders. Freeform. Convoy. Button. Facebook. More. Button.
But here now, look at this third section.
Copy. Print. Read in Prismo. Download file. Edit actions.
So there's a lot of choices
Dismiss
for
file.
how we would share this, and I
Controller.
suspect we
Full
can.
screen. Map. My location.
Just want to try this.
Map. Seafood joint. Union Square. The Wharf. Goodwill. The Wharf Bar and Grill. 6852. Share. Button. Close. Button. Hours. Open. Ratings. Rate. Cost. $2 signs. Distance. 101. Yelp. Button. Yelp. Button.
Those are-
Image. A plate of salad with scallops and bread next to a glass of beer on a table.
This was a long press that I did on it, okay? And so you have all these quick options.
Yelp.
A lot of photos.
A glass of beverage on a wooden surface. Yelp. Ratings and Yelp. 9 a.m. Share you.
All right, look at all that. So
Maps.
Again.
Derry. Paxton's. Clearfields. Derry Street. Paxton Street. One way. Eat Derry Street. Zoom 16 at Derry Street.
Okay.
Derry Street. Card map track range. The Wharf Bar in 1 hour. Call.
And we're gonna-
More. Share.
this one has an order button. Look at that.
More. Button.
And a more button.
Share.
More.
Button.
Has
Loading. Dimmed. Load. Claim this place. Dismiss. Report an issue. Add to favorites.
Add to favorites.
Download map.
You can download the map for offline.
Add photos.
Add photos.
Add to guides.
Add to guides. There it is. If you want to add it to a guide, or you can create a new guide. So that's how I created my favorite restaurants guide. I can add this to that guide.
Menu. Button.
I can see the menu. Look at that.
Menu.
All right.
Add to guides. Dismiss context
We'll
menu.
dismiss that. So let me close this place.
Card. One call. Web or more. Share. Close button. Recents. Heading.
And close this.
Close button. Search maps. Search.
And I believe we're back to the initial screen. But let me do
3:14 p.m.
one final thing. Let me go back to the iPhone where we can actually hear the turn-by-turn directions, and let me show you the navigation screen. Let's just go to this pizza and subs place that I had looked up on my phone, and let's see. Okay, 9 minutes.
9 minutes. Map. Mile level. Avoid. Button. Routes. 10 minutes. 5.8 miles, fastest route, button, go, button.
Starting route to mile
My
level pizza
location,
and sub shop.
map.
Head northeast on
Now-
Locust Drive.
Visible.
Then turn right onto Cable
Actually, my watch will give me indications too. But I want to just look at this screen with you, all right, because it should be very similar on the iPad. Well, it is very similar on the iPad. So,
Start on Locust, my location, map. Start on right turn. Cable Street. Compass, heading, 360, overview mode, audio, all guidance, arrival, 3:24,
current estimated arrival time,
9 minutes,
9 minutes.
5.8 miles. Expand, button.
There's your expand button.
Expand.
And when we start moving up at the top here where it had the next direction, it will tell me how many feet that actually is going to be. And that's where I was actually saying to you that I like to see, 800 feet, 500. Not seeing that right now because we haven't started yet. But listen to this hint. This is also really cool. Listen now.
Double tap to expand route steps.
So when you see the current navigation step, if you want to see all the steps in the list, you can double tap to expand the route steps. Obviously, if you are sighted and you are not a voiceover user, this will all be represented on the screen along with the map so that you can visually see where you're going. I don't recommend you focus too much on it if you're the one behind the wheel, but it's nice if you're helping somebody else out who's driving, right? And then I showed you...
Right turn. Cables.
What did I want to show you? Oh, I have a compass. You can enable that in your settings.
Audio. Arrival.
And here, this is the one.
Expand.
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 That's going to give you more options. Let's look at what they are.
Route options. Collapse. Button. Restaurant. Mile level pizza. Call mile level pizza and sub shop. Add stop.
You can add a stop in there along the way.
Share ETA.
Share your ETA.
Report an incident. Voice volume. En route.
We're going to end the guidance for now.
My location.
And that's it.
Map.
Now, that one thing I wanted to talk about very quickly, share your ETA. That's a really cool feature. What that actually allows you to do is, like, if you are navigating to somebody's house or to somebody, to meet somebody somewhere, you can actually send them an invite to share your ETA. It will update in real time. If you're driving to visit somebody and you decide to stop at Starbucks for a coffee, it'll update them that it's going to be a few extra minutes. If they are an Apple user, they can actually follow you on a map, and so you can share your ETA with people. And if you add people as favorites in your maps, you can even enable automatic ETA sharing so that as long as you're actually using the navigation to their place, it will share your ETA with them. Now, of course, if you don't use maps to get there, like I have my parents in there with automatic ETA sharing, but we don't use navigation to get to their house because we don't need it. So it really doesn't do it unless I would decide to do that. But you see, it's a great feature. So you can see just how powerful this app is. I don't really have any more time to spend on it, but I want you to take a look at it and enjoy, okay? I'm going to move on. We're going to take a look now at some media apps, and this is going to be just very quick. These are all set up very similarly, so I want you to get the pattern. Remember we talked about predictable patterns way back in the day? Well, we really have them here in these media apps: music, TV, and podcasts. Tomorrow we'll talk about news and books. And what you'll see is these are sidebar apps. There's going to be a sidebar, remember, a vertical bar along the left-hand side that you can show or hide. And there are sections in these sidebars that are expandable. And so that's important to know. It's also important to know that I am an Apple Music subscriber. So my options may be more robust than what you have if you're not an Apple Music subscriber. I highly encourage you to try Apple Music. For its price, you get an awful lot. And really, what a weird expression that is, awful lot. That's not good sense, right? You get an excellent lot, right? Because it really is. There's millions and millions of songs available, playlists that are curated by Apple and other editors, and you can, of course, make your own playlists, and you can listen to custom radio stations or live radio, and all of it is synced across all of your devices with iCloud. There's even a scan and match feature for up to 100,000 songs. So if you have a collection of music that you've imported from other sources, whatever they may be, now that part, to initiate that, does take a Mac or a PC, but it's kind of a once and done, set it and forget it thing, and it's, rarely necessary because Apple Music will have just about everything you're looking for. But if you do have a collection of stuff, it'll try to match it. If it can't match it, it'll upload your copy and not take any of your personal iCloud storage. There's an Apple Music family plan so that everybody in the family can listen and enjoy. You can share playlists collaboratively, so 2 or more people can work together on building a playlist for that next event. You have time-synced lyrics in Apple Music, so you can have a karaoke party, right? This is great with the Apple TV. You can even reduce the vocal volume of what music is playing currently and follow along with the lyrics as they progress. Now, again, what I can show you is very limited for 2 reasons. Number 1, because we're on a Zoom call, and number 2, because, so the music won't play while we're on a Zoom call. Number 2, copyright. So I'm not going to be able to actually play music really per se, but I want to just show you the app, okay? So let's get started.
Photos. No. Cap. Mail. Music.
And let's look at the sidebar.
Continue. Button.
Whoops.
Home is where to find recently played. Continue.
Okay.
Button.
Yeah. All right.
Hide sidebar. Button.
The sidebar is already showing up at the top left.
Hide sidebar.
So let's just swipe to the right and see what's on it.
Edit. Button.
First of all, there's an edit button on this sidebar, meaning you can change what appears and the order in which it appears.
Music. Heading.
Let's look at it.
Home. Button. Browse. Button. Radio. Button. Selected. Search. Button. Library. Button. Expanded.
Now,
Double tap to collapse.
again,
Swipe
this
up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
This is a very interesting sidebar. Not every sidebar is quite as extensive as these in these multimedia apps. But what makes this sidebar interesting is that it has multiple sections, and these sections can be expanded and collapsed. So we've already looked at the first section. It has home, browse, radio, and search. And that kind of mimics the bottom tabs of the music app on the iPhone, except that the iPhone also has a library tab at the bottom. Well, the library option is on the sidebar here as well as an expandable and collapsible section. So when it's expanded, as it is right now,
Library. Button. Expanded.
if you want to collapse it,
Double tap to collapse.
you just double tap.
Swipe up or down to
But what's more important is what's in that library if it's expanded. Let's go to the right.
recently added. Button. Artists. Button. Albums. Songs. Made for you. Music videos. Genres. Button.
Look at all these. Now, I think
Swipe up or down
I
to
think
select
some of those I added from the edit menu actually, but
compilations. Button. Composers. Button.
okay, we're about through that,
Or down
and then
to playlists. Button. Expanded. Double tap to collapse.
unlike,
Up or down
let me
to-
pause that. Unlike your iPhone, the playlists section is not in the library. It's a separate section on the sidebar. So it is entirely possible to collapse the library and still see the playlists. And you can also collapse the playlists if you want. But here's a really cool thing.
All playlists. Button.
That button will
Swipe up or down to select a custom.
show all of the playlists in a more effective way, especially for a voiceover user. If you have a lot of playlists, I recommend hitting the all playlist button because it's going to be much easier to work with. But if I swipe to the right,
Favorite songs. Button.
my
A little more Rise and Shine Run. Favorite songs. Button.
playlists are listed here, all of them. But let's go into this all playlist button for a second.
All playlists. Selected. All playlists. Button.
And it has selected that. Now you'll see,
Favorite songs. A little more.
well, you know what, go back to,
Playlists.
okay.
But composers. Selected. All playlists. Button. Favorite songs. A little more. A silly little. A song.
They're all there,
Button. Hide side.
but
Hide music. Edit. Artists. Apps. Genres.
let's just
compilation.
show you
Playlist. Selected.
is,
all playlists. But favorite songs.
I think it's at the bottom.
Adele. Aerosmith.
How am I even gonna-
Mini player. What a beautiful
Okay.
name. Previous track. What album?
There's a mini player on the bottom right.
Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys. Next.
Okay,
step,
so I'm-
Apple Find and playlist.
There we go, there we go.
Sort and filter.
Okay.
Add.
There it is.
Playlists. Heading.
To find this, I had to sort of touch the top center of the iPad screen because it was just missing it by swiping. And that's what I kind of thought was happening there. I couldn't remember for sure, but that's what I thought. So when you touch the upper middle, you find it. There are several options here once you hit all playlists that are very useful to you. One is
Add button.
the add button, and that is how you can create a new playlist, right? You can add a playlist and immediately add songs, or later on as you're listening and browsing, you certainly can add songs anytime. Again, you can collaborate with others, but now here,
Sort and filter menu button.
this is the sort and filter menu. We can choose how we see our playlists. We can have, well, let me just show you some of these.
Selected. All playlists. Favorites. Button. Title. Button. Recently added. Button. Recently played. Recently updated. Selected. Playlist type. Button. Dismiss context menu.
So the first thing is that we can choose whether they're sorted like by recently added or playlists you've recently played and so on. We can also choose to sort, excuse me, by the title of the playlist or by the playlist type. The playlist type is going to keep all of the Apple Music playlists that are curated by Apple Music editors together, and then it's going to keep all of your personally created playlists in a separate section as well. So there's lots of ways we can view this, and I'm going to dismiss that.
Dismiss context menu.
And then here,
Selected. All playlists. But favorite songs. Playlists. Heading. Add. Button. Sort and find in playlists. Search.
there's a search option as
Double
well.
tap to edit.
So
Dictate. Aerosmith. After Hours Party.
if I want to get further on into these, of course I can
Sort all content.
three-finger swipe.
Page 5 of 56.
Look at all that.
Page
Go pretty far down
page
here.
21 of page 20. Made for spatial art. Madonna. Manny Petty. Mariachi. Mariah Carey.
Because I think these are sorted by the Apple ones first.
Page 20. Pop hits. Page reggae songs by page Tim McGraw.
Half the time I just add ones that it recommends and I don't actually
Page 4 Usher.
know what all's on them, but
Replay 2000.
at least they're there.
Carson
Yeah. So here's ones I've created. And we'll go
Aloha, all sessions.
to this one that I call Add Sessions. Let's just, or rather, All Sessions, excuse me.
A group of people posing for a photo in a collage.
Open it up.
20. Selected. All playlists. Button.
You know you can long press these things too. Don't forget to try the long press. All right, on the right-hand side of the iPad now,
Search. Text field. More. Button.
sort of in the middle, but
Download. Collaboration. Button.
here we can collaborate.
Playlists. Back button.
There's the back button. Okay, collaborate.
Download.
We can download this for offline listening if we want to.
More. Button.
There's a More button, which contains
Edit. Collaborate. Button. Sort by. Button. Delete from library. Download. Add to a playlist. Play next. Play last. Share playlist. Favorite. Suggest less. Dismiss context menu.
I hope you're hearing all those options. I mean, I don't have time to define each of them, but you can share the playlist, collaborate on the playlist, delete it from the library, add its music to another playlist. I mean, there's just tons of options here.
Dismiss context menu.
But go back here.
Selected. Alt search. Tech more.
Search button.
Text, dictate.
Now,
Album artwork. Image. All sessions. Matthew Vollbrecht. Fun. Family-oriented songs. Play button.
that was my description of it. There's a play button.
Shuffle.
There's a shuffle button. We can shuffle the playlist.
Lean on me. Sing. I can't help myself. Sugar pie. Honey bunch. Four tops. You're the one. The Vogues. You're the one. 2 minutes. 21 seconds.
And any of these that we want to play, we can
Actions
just,
available.
of course, double tap them, and they will immediately start playing, except they won't right now because we're in a Zoom call. But if you long press them, you're going to get even more actions.
View credits. View. Removed from playlist. Delete from library. Download. Add to a playlist. Play next. Play last. Share song.
Share the song,
Go to album.
go to the album.
Create station.
You can create a customized, personalized radio station based on that song.
Favorite.
Favorite the song,
Suggest less.
suggest less.
Preview. Album artwork. You're the one. The Vogues. You're the one. Middle dot. 1966. Dismiss context menu.
And you can dismiss the context menu there. And I think some of these will have
Select.
lyrics. I think some of these songs have lyrics that are in that context menu. It's not the only way to display the lyrics. If you're playing the song, you can show and hide the lyrics also, but
Lean on me. I can't help. You're the one.
What did we do?
The longest time.
Okay.
Sweet Caroline. Hot, hot, hot.
Some of these
Diddy.
surely
The Candy Man.
have lyrics.
Little bitty pretty want. Get a job. I want to dance with somebody
There's
who loves me.
Whitney Houston. That's got to have lyrics, right?
4 minutes. Fit. View credits. View removed from play. Delete. Down. Add to play. Net. Play. Share song. Go to app. Create. Favorite. Suggest. Preview. I want to dance. Whitney Houston. Whitney. Dismiss context
Okay.
menu.
Either I'm just not running into them or they don't do it that way anymore. But it's not the only way, because when the music is playing, what it does is it has a mini player. Now, you'll find this on the bottom right of your iPad.
Mini player. Previous track. Button. Play. Button. Next track.
All right, so it's got some buttons there.
Next.
And if you go to the left,
What a beautiful name.
it's a...
Album artwork. Button. Vertical mini player. Album artwork. Button. Image.
That's...
Black object against a white background. Okay. What a beautiful name.
So, if you want to expand the mini player to the full screen now playing window, you just double tap on the name of the song. What a beautiful name.
Dismiss now playing screen.
And the first thing you have is the button to dismiss that full screen player. But let's go to the right and look at the options we have here.
Selected. You are the word at the beginning. Button. One with God. The Lord Most High. Button.
Okay. You see that the lyrics are already showing here, and this is a Christian song. We are reading the lyrics, but you notice the first set of lyrics says selected. Go back to the left here.
One selected. You are the word at the beginning. Button.
That is selected because the song hasn't begun. If I start playing this, what is selected is going to change, and it's going to move further on to some of these other words.
One with God, the Lord Most High, your hidden glory in creation.
Okay, and then if I touch further down on the right side of the screen,
now revealed in you. Now revealed. What a beautiful name.
Or maybe I'll even do a four-finger tap at the bottom right of the screen.
Playing next. Autoplay on. Button.
We can turn off autoplay. We'll go back to the left.
Selected. Lyrics. Button.
Lyrics is selected. If I don't want to see them, I can double tap that to deselect them.
Playback destination. iPad. Button.
Playback destination is iPad. If I want to change this to play on a HomePod, an Apple TV, another type of device in my home, I can do that, or even AirPods.
Volume. 31%. Repeat. Off. Shuffle. Off. Next track. Button. Play. Previous track. Track position. 9 seconds of 3 minutes. 58 seconds.
There's your scrubber.
More. Button.
There's a more button.
Favored. Button. Hillsong Worship in Brook Ligertwood. What a beautiful name. Vocal volume. Off.
And
button.
there's your vocal volume. That is where you can control the voice if you want to sing along with this in karaoke style. First you show the lyrics, then you choose the vocal volume. You double tap on that to turn it on, and then it becomes adjustable. You can turn the vocal volume somewhat down, all the way down, what have you. And I also wanted...
Album artwork. Vertical scroll.
And that's it. Let's go to the right. I also wanted to show you the more button.
Favored. More. Button. View credits. Delete from live. Download. Add to a playlist. Share song.
All right. A lot of the same things you heard before. Add to a playlist. You can do it.
Share lyrics. Go to.
There, that one has share lyrics. So some of these, you know.
Go to album. Button. Create station. Favored. Suggest. Report. Dismiss context menu. Button.
On the upper
Dismiss now.
right here.
Selected. You are the word.
Well, actually, no.
Dismiss now playing screen.
Four-finger tap near the top. Now,
Selected.
upper right.
All sessions. Heading.
Because
playlists. Back button.
you remember I was inside of that playlist.
Playlist.
Okay. Two other things very, very rapidly about this app. I'll show you if you go to search on the upper left in the sidebar.
Made music. Artists. Songs. Made for.
Oops.
Art. Library. Search. But selected. Search.
On the right-hand side now is your search area.
Artists, songs, lyrics, and more. Search field.
There it is.
Double tap to edit.
Double tap.
Search field. Select.
Now we're
search.
in our search field.
Search field is editing.
But I want to show you that when you're in your search field, if you swipe to the right,
Dictate. Dim. Cancel.
you can cancel, but
Selected. Apple Music. Library. Button. 2 of 2.
either Apple Music or Library. Library searches only within your library of what you've saved. Now, it might be from Apple Music, but it's stuff that you've added to your library. And then Apple Music searches the entire catalog. You can search for song names, artists, album names, even lyrics. So if I know there's a song, for example, that has the phrase, "If everybody had an ocean across the USA," I could type that here.
I-F space E-V-E-O-B-O-D space U-A-G H-A-D space N space O-C-N.
And I'll press return.
Search.
which says search right now. On the right-hand side, I'm staying on the right because the sidebar's on the left.
Top results. Adjustable.
That's adjustable.
Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
So top results, I could adjust it to albums, to songs.
Artists, albums, songs.
See, but let's go back to top results.
Artist, top results.
Let's see how it did. Swipe to the right.
Search results. Surfing U.S.
Perfect.
A. Song. Middle dot. The Beach Boys. Less than mark. Greater than if everybody.
And there it is. And I could, of course, play that by double tapping it. Long press it to get additional options. Add it to library and so forth. Add it to a playlist. I could use SIRI to play these things. All right, let's cancel that search.
If everybody. Cancel. Button.
And the last thing I want to show you here is the radio tab. I'm not showing you everything, of course. We just don't have time. But I want to show you the radio tab very quickly here. And that's over here on the left-hand side
Selected.
in the sidebar.
Radio. Selected. Radio.
This tab, which is not a tab on the iPad, but this section of the music app is set up in headings. But the problem is that, not problem, but what happens is that there's so much on this screen that many of the headings are not visible to the sighted user. So you have to scroll. Well, the same is true with VoiceOver. You're not going to just be able to use your heading navigation in the rotor because it'll act like there's no more headings when really there are. You're going to need to use the three-finger scroll or perhaps the vertical scroll bar. So let's touch the right. That's why I wanted to show you this tab specifically.
My account. Button.
There's a My Account button if you need to make changes there.
Apple Music 1, the new music that matters. Live, 3:05 p.m., The Ebro Show, Beyonce conquers the Wild West on Cowboy Carter.
That's
text next to an image of
pause that. That is a live radio station. Here's another one.
See full schedule.
You can see the full schedule of that one.
Apple Music hits, songs you know and love. Live, 2:04 p.m., The Estelle Show, Marvin Gaye samples from Nas, Tweet, and D.O. C.
Okay.
See full schedule. Apple Music Country, where it sounds like home. Live, 2:34 p.m. Apple Music Country, where it sounds like home. A logo with text and an illustration of a star on it that might be a demonstration.
These
Country.
are live
Apple
stations.
Music Explore image. Activate.
Let's go to headings
Screen contain verb headings.
and swipe down.
Heading not found.
But you can already see that it doesn't think there are any more headings, so we're going to have to three-finger swipe up.
Page 2 of 12.
You can
The
see.
Beach Boy. Page
Oh, the
3
Beach
of
Boys.
Okay.
Okay.
Page 2. Recently played.
Oh,
Heading.
recently played. That's a nice heading.
Blake McIver, Matthew Vaughn, The Beach Boys, 1950s rock, Enya, but meditation. I miss ellipsis, line dancing, Katy Perry, King Kylie, Robin Mark, and similar artists.
Now again,
heading not found.
it doesn't think there's more headings, but there definitely are. One other thing we could try.
Color Me our radio host. Color Me Country Radio Mini Player. Play.
We could try a four-finger tap near the bottom, but it goes to the mini player.
Previous
But if we go to the left,
what a beautiful album art. Vertical
the scroll bar.
18%, 28%, 34, 50, 60, 70, 88%.
I want to go down about there and swipe to the left.
Classical. Button.
Now I'm where I wanted to be. I was looking for this heading for all of you.
More to explore. Heading.
This is more to explore. You can explore by genre.
Alternative and indie. Button. Christian. Button. Classical. Country. Dance. Electronic. From around the world. Hip-hop/R&B. Hits by decade. Holiday. Jazz. Kids and family. Latin. Metal. Pop. Reggae. Rock. Singer/songwriter. Vertical scroll.
Look at all that. And if you go now
Words. Headings.
to headings, we can swipe up with one finger and maybe
More to explore. Radio. Heading. Heading
See?
not 1 FM. Dance. Button.
Now.
Country. Class. More. Hit. Radio Oxygenia. 100% workout. Madama Radio. Drag item. RFM. From TuneIn. Button.
there are even
Swipe up or down.
FM radio stations from internet radio like TuneIn and iHeartRadio and other internet radio stations.
Radio City Tamil. From TuneIn. Smooth FM.
At least
from
those.
TuneIn. BBC Afrique.
Look at that.
From TuneIn.
So,
BBC Radio 4.
you
from TuneIn.
really need to play with this app because it's very, very powerful. And if you, especially if you're an Apple Music subscriber, there's so much to listen to. All right, very quickly, we're going to jump into a similar app now, which is the Apple TV app. Now, I will start out and preface this by saying that if you're really interested in using your Apple devices to watch TV, you ought to check out our Midwinter Digital Cafe that we completed a couple of months ago on using the Apple TV set-top box as a full-time living room TV device. And those episodes, all 4 of them, are available on our YouTube channel, on the Apple Tutorials playlist, which you can get from both Cliff's YouTube channel and mine. And we share that. And also, they should be available on our podcast as well, TTJ Tech Talk. They're very important episodes if you're interested in using Apple TV or really any Apple device to watch TV, but especially the Apple TV. That was the focus of that. But even if you want to do TV on your iPad, I would encourage you to listen to those episodes, because the vast majority of what we said about Apple TV applies to your iPad. Certainly, you can watch live TV on your iPad with apps like Xfinity Stream if you're a cable subscriber, DirecTV if you subscribe to them, and a variety of others. Many TV providers, both the cable and satellite variety and the streaming variety, do offer live TV apps. If you have Philo, Hulu Plus Live TV, Sling TV, YouTube TV, they all have apps for the iPad and the Apple TV. But also you can watch movies and shows from your favorite streaming services, because you can install on your iPad the Max app, the Peacock app, the Disney Plus app, the Paramount Plus app, the Amazon Prime Video app, and so many more. And not only that, Netflix, Hulu, of course, not only that, but Apple has its own TV app, which is designed to keep track of what you watch across all those other apps and sync it with iCloud. So when I open the TV app, you're going to see an Up Next section that shows the things I'm currently watching and what apps are used to play them. And I can simply double tap to start playing. The Apple TV app also provides access to a few subscriptions of its own called Apple TV channels. And when I say a few, it's more like 30 or 40. Things like Tastemate, Paramount Plus with Showtime, Stars, Cinemax, I don't know, there's PBS Living, Hallmark Movies Now, Lifetime Movie Club. There's a ton of them, and they can be watched right in the Apple TV app without you even needing a third-party app. They're commercial-free, on demand, a live feed if it's available also, which in some cases it is, and you just sign in with your Apple ID. No additional accounts to create, logins to remember, or anything. Really, really easy. And in addition to that, you can add your TV provider to the iPad, and then you'll see movies and shows that are available through them. And you can get your sports scores up to the minute, real time, and quickly be taken to the game if you subscribe to a channel that gets the game. You can pick your favorite teams to stay in the loop about what they're doing. And then, of course, there's Apple TV Plus, which is Apple's own streaming TV service. Please don't confuse the two. Apple TV Plus and the TV app are not the same thing. Apple TV Plus is a service. It happens to live inside the TV app, because where else would it go? But you don't have to have Apple TV Plus to use the TV app. And just because you're using the TV app doesn't mean you're getting Apple TV Plus. They're not the same thing. They are two separate things. Apple TV Plus is the service. Apple TV app is the app where you can access that and a whole bunch of other services. The Apple TV Plus service is very good. It's got a lot of high-quality original content that Apple has created, and also a lot of popular movies right now. They seem, especially recently, to be getting a ton of movies. That wasn't always the case. It used to be just original content, but they say they have a whole bunch of movies for a limited time on Apple TV Plus. They have the Peanuts, Charlie Brown series, all of that as well. So it's a great service to consider. This TV app also offers a universal search that allows you to search across all of the streaming services and channels that you have, and pick what you want to watch. And of course, it allows you to rent and buy movies and TV shows from Apple's online, what we know as the iTunes Store as well. So there's a ton of things. You can even access home movies from your Mac in the TV app. There's a lot we can do here, and again, we're only going to show you a fraction of it, just so you can see the continuity with the music app, how similar they are. Really explore this. I really recommend that you take a look at it.
BBC Afrique.
Okay.
New TV.
No. Okay. Open
Double
TV.
tap to open.
Again.
TV.
Upper left.
Hide sidebar button.
Look at that. hide sidebar, very similar. And what's on the sidebar?
TV, heading, search. TV, selected, home.
There's a search tab, or not tab, but a section, a home section again.
Apple TV Plus.
An Apple TV Plus section specifically for that service.
MLS Season Pass.
MLS Season Pass, that's part of Apple TV's offering that Apple offers, and so there's a separate section here for that.
Sports.
Sports, that's a separate section for all your sports.
Store.
The store, where again we can search for and buy and rent movies and shows and so on.
Channels and apps button. Expanded.
Just like with the
Double tap to collapse.
With the library and the music app, this too is expandable and collapsible. These are my channels and apps. Not all of them are Apple TV channels. Some of them require third-party apps, and pretty much all of them require third-party subscriptions, or maybe not third-party. You might be able to do it through the TV app in some cases. But basically, they're all paid. There are free ones, but most of these are going to be paid. But they're all right here. So if I want to look at what's on any of these, I can just double tap on any of these, like
A&E, Amazon Freevee, AMC, Animal Planet, Bravo, Discovery, Disney Plus, E, Food Network, Freeform, HGTV, Hulu, Max, Paramount Plus, PBS Kids Video, Peacock, Tastemade, The CW, TLC, Library, button, expanded.
Now, those are all the ones that
Collapse, actions available.
Those are all the ones that I use frequently. I have even more that are going to be further down in this list.
Recent purchases.
Library, that's expandable. Recent purchases.
Movies. TV shows.
These are the things that I've purchased
4K HDR.
or that I've rented. So if I want to see those, I can double tap. Let's jump over to the right-hand side of the iPad,
Home.
where we've selected home on the left.
Add to up next. Steve Martin, a documentary in 2 pieces.
They're featuring a certain thing here. I'm going to go to headings.
Words. Care container. Screen recognition. Vertical headings.
Swipe down.
Up next.
Here's that section I was telling you about. These are things we've recently been watching.
Everybody Loves Raymond. Continue S1. E20. Button. American.
Oops, I gotta go back here. Okay, here we go.
Full House. Continue S8. E21. 5 minute left. 75% complete. Time remaining. 5 minutes. Button. Actions available. A screenshot of a video game with 2 people standing in front of a staircase. 5 minute left.
Now, this episode of Full House was not something we were watching on my iPad. Actually, my wife and kids were watching that while I was teaching, and they were using the Apple TV in the living room, but it still shows up here. So we can keep going.
Man with a Plan. Continue S1. E8. Paramount Plus. Button. Girl Meets Farm. Continue S6. E5. 20 minute left. Max. 2% complete.
And you get the idea, because every one of these uses a different service, or I've purchased it. I can just double tap to start watching it. I can long press it, or I can actually use the rotor to get the context menu.
Context menu.
See? That's in the rotor. I just double tap on that.
Explore image.
And then
activate default.
I can activate it. So on this device, that's going to be the easiest way to do that. On the TV, you can long press it. Now, I want to use my headings again. I'd like to spend more time in Up Next because it's really my favorite section of the TV app, but won't do that for the sake of time. I want to show you some other things.
Screen recognition. Content verb headings.
Let's swipe down.
Top chart. Apple TV Plus.
Go again.
Channels and apps.
All right.
Heading.
This is sort of like what was on the sidebar, but more extensive. These are my channels and apps. The first set of them are the ones that I'm currently using on a regular basis.
Apple TV Plus. A&E. Amazon Freevee. AMC. Animal Planet. Bravo. Discovery. Disney Plus. E. Food Network. Freeform. HGTV. Hulu. Max. Paramount Plus. PBS Kids Video. Peacock. Tastemade. The CW. TLC.
And really,
more to explore. Heading.
it may not even necessarily be that it's a regular basis, but if I've opened up a movie or a show on one of those channels or apps, it's going to be on that top part of the list. There's more to explore. They might be ones that I already have. They might be ones that I don't have and need to pay for, but it's going to be in this combined list here below.
MLS Season Pass. ABC. Acorn TV. Adult Swim. Act Go. All BBC America. BBC Select. BET Plus. BET. BFI Player Classics. Boomerang. BritBox. Carnegie Hall, Cartoon Network, CBS, CBS News, CBS Sports, Cinemax, CJNM Classics.
All right, you get the idea.
Illustration of a
Let's keep going through headings.
Screen recognition actions. Convert headings. Now on Apple TV Plus. Limited time. Great movies on Apple TV Plus. But
So here's some of those movies that I was telling you.
The Wolf of Wall Street. A Star is Born. The Bodyguard. Gravity. Jerry Maguire.
Boy, there are some good movies on there.
Mean Girls. Catch Me If You Can. Star Trek.
All right.
Star Trek Beyond.
I could look through those, but let's not. Let's keep going.
Screen convert headings new to Apple TV Plus.
Because I wanted to show you.
Sugar premieres Friday on Apple. Coming to Apple TV Plus. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus. New shows and movies on your channels and apps. But for you, we think you'll love these movies and shows.
And these are from our channels and apps, so we know they're available.
Popular shows on your channels and apps.
All right, see that? I could go through each of those.
Apple Music TV. Movies Spotlight, now playing on your channels and apps.
Look at all that, guys.
MLS season
And here,
sports.
I also wanted to show you, there's some sports here,
Top chart.
and there's news
Starring Steve Martin.
we're eventually going to get to.
What we're watching, trending. Want more endlessly quotable stories? If you like, switch. But
This is a cool section, if you like. So, like, I like the game show Switch on Game Show Network, and it says if I like that, I might also like...
$1 Million Money Drop. I've got the secret. The wheel. But Cash Cab. Take a good look, but divided.
Right?
Catch 21. Get a clue. Winsanity. Idiotist. Emogenius. Weakest link.
Which I don't know. Some of these, you know.
If you like the Thunderman.
And if we like the Thundermans, which is a family kids show,
Mickey,
maybe we'd also like some of these other ones. Okay?
Sky High.
Now, I'll go back to...
If you like free series premieres, $4.99 movies. Browse by collection. Headed news. But
Here's the news section. Look at all these news sources now.
ABC News. But CBS News. CNN. Fox News. MSNBC. Bloomberg. CNBC. Browse by genre.
And then you have another category. Now, so pretty much depending on whatever your news preference is, you can find it here, and you would just use the app that is responsible for it, right? So if I wanted any of these, it would ask me to open the app. It would automatically open the app for me, or it would ask me to install it from the App Store. And whether or not I'm going to be able to access much of it depends on whether I pay for it, whether I get it in my cable subscription. The ones like CBS News, those are free all the time. That's a 24-hour news network, so you could watch anything you wanted on there. Something like Fox News, MSNBC, or CNN would give me maybe like 10 minutes a day, and then say if you want the rest of it, you have to unlock it with your subscription. You're subscribed through your cable provider or your streaming provider or your satellite provider. So those are all, you know, that's the way all that works. And I'm going to show you one other thing in the TV app, and that's the search section.
Hulu.
On the left,
Hide sidebar. TV. HGTV.
I'm going to swipe.
Page 1 of 3.
There we go.
Hide sidebar. TV. Search.
And then on the right,
Web shows, movies, and more.
there's my search field.
Insertion point app selected. Search.
And let's just say that we want to watch the
Use
series
the rotor to access Miss
Friends, one of our favorite
Cap I.
sitcoms.
Cap FOINDS.
Press return or
Web page loaded.
search, and we're going to get the results on the right.
Friends. Sign in with your Apple ID. Matthew Volbrecht.
Now, it actually is signed in. It just says that, but it has my name. That's how I know it's signed in. Go to the right.
Friends. Search field.
There's the search field.
Cancel. Top results. Heading.
You have different headings, movies, shows, but here's top results. It's probably going to be right there.
Friends. TV show.
There it is. We'll double tap on that because I want to show you
Friend. Selected. Search.
when we search for something. Now, stay on the right, not the left, right? The left is your sidebar.
Friends. Play episode. Button.
It's got one ready to play for me, primed and loaded because we've watched it.
Comedy. October 6th. 1994. S1. E3. Starring Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa. Common Sense rating. 14 plus.
All the information you could want.
Details. The one where Monica gets a roommate. Episode 1. After Rachel leaves her fiancé at the altar. Details. The one with the sonogram at the end.
It's got the whole series here, episode by episode. I can choose any that I want. But I want to use headings.
Cut box set. Button. Heading.
Oh, there's the box set we could purchase. But go down to the next heading.
Related. Button.
You have related shows.
Cast and crew.
There's your
Button.
cast and crew.
Heading.
This is the one I want you to see how to watch.
How to watch. Heading.
It's going to give you all the ways that you can watch Friends. Swipe to the right.
Max. Open in. Max app. Seasons 110.
So all 10 seasons are available on Max. If I'm a Max subscriber, I can open this in the Max app right now. Let's go on.
Prime Video, get Prime Video app, seasons 110.
And I suspect that's actually still Max, but I think you can subscribe to Max through Amazon Prime, so I think that's why that's there.
Hulu, get Hulu app, seasons 4, 7, 9, 10.
And episodes 4, 7, 9, and 10 are currently on Hulu. I suspect that's the live TV version of Hulu.
TBS, get TBS app, seasons 9, 10.
I can watch these in the TBS app. If I have TBS in my cable package or something, I can get seasons 9 and 10.
Sling TV, get
Sling TV,
app,
same deal.
About, heading.
And that's it. Now, you notice
David
up here was this box set.
Related, box, friends, the complete series, button.
Right.
A group of people wearing formal attire.
So we could buy it also, and I've actually purchased these, so I can watch them, that way as well. Some are going to show your cable provider app, that game show I mentioned, Switch.
Removed from sign in with Food Network. TV, multitask removed from sign remove share box set.
There you can share the episode.
Amazon free
and
store sports hops TV heading selected search hide sidebar removed from up
on the right hand side here. We're not seeing a back button, so we'll just scrub.
Select,
there we go.
Search top results cancel friends
and lastly
field,
do I'll do
edited,
the
clear text
I'll search for the game show.
Dictate, cap U
switch
cap S W I T H.
Okay.
Web page load picture TV switched movie switch at birth top results switch movie the switch movie
this one might be better to go
top result TV shows switch at birth
there
switch button
okay I don't know which one it is
of people posing for a photo in front of a movie poster switch button an illustration of a person wearing a suit and standing in front of a screen with text hashtag switch plus actions. I don't know which one it is. Switch on.
Probably this one.
Button. Switch.
Let's see.
Switch. Open in. Comedy. January 1st,
no.
2018. 32 minutes.
I don't think that's
Watch
it.
with Prime Video.
Nope, that's not it.
Share. Button.
There was the other one.
Switch. Button. Switch. Button.
Okay.
Switch.
It's this one.
Switch. Open in. Ellipse. Game show. October 26th, 2023.
Yeah, that's
21 minutes. Watch with Sling TV.
See, it tells you already, but
Season 2, heading.
I don't have to use Sling TV. I can go.
Related, casting, how to watch, Sling TV, Xfinity Stream, open in, Xfinity Stream app, Season 2.
And that's my cable provider, Xfinity, so I would use Xfinity Stream to watch this. And really,
about, heading.
There's the about section, the description, but really,
how related,
all I have to do
details,
is pick an episode.
Episode 27, Jeff.
Double tap it to watch it or long press it.
Details, details. Loading, dimmed, but share episode, share show, mark as watched, dismiss context.
I can get some details that way as well.
Selected, search.
And then finally,
details, Jeff Stat, explore image. Selected, home,
The podcasts app is very similar.
News, TV, podcasts.
Because if you look at the left-hand side of the screen,
Tuesday in progress. The podcast personal data
okay,
you
hit continue.
The podcast subscriptions you purchased continue.
Look at the left side of the screen.
Podcasts, heading, selected, home, browse, top charts, search, library. Button,
and again,
expanded.
Library is expanded because it's expandable. And again, you have your home section, which keeps track of what you're listening to. Podcasts recently gained written transcripts, by the way, which is really cool too. But if we want to use the podcast app to search for our TTJ Tech Talk podcast,
search,
double tap, go to the right side of the screen,
search, heading, shows, episodes, and more. Search field, autofill, menu item, search, dim.
Yeah, okay.
Cap J, cap T T J, sp T E H, sp T A K K, delete K K L L K, search.
And now, on the right,
top results, adjustable, TTJ Tech Talk, show, middle dot, the tech juggernaut, more.
There it is. Double
Actions
tap.
available. Artwork. Image.
We could have long pressed, but just
TTJ Tech Talk. The Tech Juggernaut. But 3.5 5D ago. More. Button.
there's an episode, and then
Latest episode.
here.
Button.
So here's the latest episode,
Episodes. Filter.
and
Button.
you can filter.
And see all.
So
5D
all
ago.
these episodes. This is the tech, our iPad class.
Episodes.
Our filtering options.
Latest episode. More. Button.
Not sure what those are.
See all.
Actually.
Episodes. Filter.
Let's just see what
Heading.
that says.
Selected. All episodes. Unplayed. Downloaded. Played. Sort oldest to newest. Dismiss context menu.
Okay.
Button.
And so the last thing here
Selected. Search.
I'll show you is under more.
Artwork. Image. TTJ Tech. The Tech Juggernaut. 3.5D ago. More. Button. Artwork. Playback progress 0%. More. Artwork. March 20. TTJ information. Transcript. A detailed look at the play.
Okay.
TTJ Tech.
What did I want to do
iPad
though?
For all TTJ
I wanted-
Tech. March 20. Artwork. More. Downloaded. But save episode. TTJ Tech. New station. Stations. Latest episodes. Downloaded. Saved. Channels. Shows. Recently updated.
Okay, that's on the left
channels.
side.
March 20. TTJ.
I wanted
play.
the-
A detailed look at transcript. Discord.
I wanted the more button.
TTJ. March 20. Artwork.
Because-
More. Button.
There.
Remove download. Go to show. Button.
So if we go to the show,
Add to queue. Save episode. Mark as
see we can
played.
pick individual episodes and save them.
View transcript.
View the
Button.
transcript,
Share episode.
but share the episode.
Copy link.
But look over here,
Add to queue. Go to show.
go to
Button.
show.
Hide sidebar.
And now-
TTJ Tech following. Button.
There's your following. If you weren't already following this, you could follow it now. That's how you would stay in the loop about the recent episodes.
More. Button.
And there's a more button, which
Unfollow show. Remove downloads. Settings. Hide played episodes. Add to queue. Mark all as played. Share show. Copy link. Report a concern. Dismiss context menu.
all right.
TTJ new station. TTJ
Let's
Tech
go
following. Button. Select.
Back.
TTJ Tech selected. Search.
And there we go. So that's a very, very brief look at how you do that. Again, all we did there was go to the search section of the sidebar, type what we were looking for, and we then were able to double tap on it and play any episode we wanted. We were able to go to the more button, go to the show. We could follow the show if we want to subscribe to it. That's how you do that when we tell people subscribe to our podcast so you get the latest episode. You just go ahead and hit follow. And again, it will have the option of displaying all episodes or hiding the episodes you've played. You can go into the settings and customize your notifications and various things, but it's really as simple as that. And the podcast app also has a mini player at the bottom right.
Go backward 15 seconds. Play. Button. Go forward 30 seconds. Button.
Right, and
Go June 24th, 2023. TTJ Tech Show. Affinity Products Overview.
that was from last year. I happened to be playing that, I guess, at some point, so I could double tap on that to get a full screen now playing experience again, just like with the music app. And that will also show up, these playback controls will also show up on the lock screen, on the control center, and in the notification center, so you can quickly jump ahead or jump back or play and pause and things of that nature.
I wondered where the delete button was for that, or if I just wanted to delete one, or where in the library would I go to find a delete the podcast or delete this podcast. Somehow they tend to hide these things, or maybe I just didn't find it yet.
So there's a couple of ways I would recommend trying that. One would be the long press. That's probably always going to be the first and best place to find those kind of options, to find the episode or the show that you no longer want and long press on it on the sidebar. The other option is to double tap it to open it. And then on the right side, look for that more button, because we saw under there that there were options like that. So one of those two places is going to have what you're looking for. Thanks again, everybody. God bless you. We will see you tomorrow again at 2:30 here in the iPad class. Take care, everybody, and see you next time.
Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Want paid one-on-one training? Email us at support@ttjtech.biz or support@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. I'm Trainer Cliff. Thanks for joining us. God bless. See you next time.